Uda. You already know the vibe. You on that one go. Listen, man. Watching live now. We about to get into this breakdown, the full breakdown of the sentencing. This is Cash Out, John Michael Gibson, sentencing with his mother, Morenika Vinnie. She goes by multiple names, Linda Smith, as well as something else. And we got a Dennis Byron reaction as well. Salute to Dennis Byron, the hip hop Enquirer. You know what I mean? Most definitely a great mind and someone that I built with and was most definitely spent last months with being around when we've been covering the Diddy trial live every day at the court. So salute to Dennis. Dennis being a person that from down them ends, he's covering the trial as well. You know, I like to hear people's sides, and he's a person that's met these people. You know what I'm saying? He was doing video work with Cash Out. You know what I'm saying? He was chopped it up with his moms and all types of things like that at that time. You know what I mean? When you out there in like Georgia and all that little circle, you know, that little network, especially if you're moving and shaking. And like Dennis was saying, even him, when it comes to the videographers and people like that, he was one of the top people out there that you're going to go to. And his mom was trying to break through as a model, doing things like that. Linked, ended up making Dennis even connect with her as well. Maybe I think before he even met with Cash Out, I think he'd been met with the moms as well. So I just watched part of the sentencing. It was just the breakdown from the prosecutors and from the defense so far. We're all waiting to see what this sentence is going to be. We did watch Cash Out speak, his mother speak, and his cousin spoke. Cash Out spoke first. Did he do good to me on his speech? I don't really think so. I don't think that he took a lot of accountability in his speech that he did. And this is the time for accountability. This is not the time for the other stuff. You know what I mean? He did go into God and a lot of different things, which I understand, but he still was pushing blame somewhere else. And that's not the place you want to be. Even if you feel you're wrongfully charged for this whole trial, right now you've been convicted of 2 counts or 2 charges. You need to speak to your charges. You know what I mean? Not just to what you think this trial is. You know what I mean? You maybe could say, look, I feel like you know what I mean? I got a good trial, but you know what I mean? I feel like some people's lying on me, but look, there are victims in this. You know, I'm sorry for what I've done, what I've been found guilty of. You know what I'm saying? You got to start talking in a way now because, you know what I mean? Once you're not showing no remorse, and he and his cousin have great charges as well as I think sodomy charges, trafficking, RICO, all kind of other stuff. You already know it's going to be a hard bid, okay, when you have certain types of crimes, grapings and all types of things like that. You know what I mean? So I understand you want to get up there and speak to yourself and speak for you because you feel you've been wrong, you feel like you've been lied on. I get that, but you got to put some kind of accountability. I didn't hear no sorries in this whole thing, so he must know that, or he may feel like, yo, you know what I mean? They're gonna rock me anyway. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say because I already know. That's maybe what he feels. But his mother followed him, and when she got up to speak, she was like this. One of the first things she said is like, yo, the victim, da, 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 da. And she was speaking that way, whether she believes it or not. You know what I mean? Because it's one of the polls that I had. I'm about to do another poll. And I said, like, you know what I mean? Her as a mother, maybe she's the one that could have stopped her son or tell her son to stop, or maybe try to get some of these potential victims. They are victims now because he's found guilty of this. You know what I mean? To maybe get away from some of this situation as well. But like we said, you know what I mean? Some people in the chat, in my last live, they was like, you know what I mean? Not everybody talking about God now. Like I said, man, you know, just like in the Bible, just like if you believe in God, you know, every knee and every knee shall bend, every tongue shall cry. You know what I mean? So that's what we just watching these people's knees bend and we just watching their tongues cry. You know what I mean? Because you will say God at some point, no matter what you believe in, no matter what you praise, no matter what you idolize, you will say it at some point. Okay. So salute to everybody that believe in God and Jesus. Seven's in my chat. I will be doing the poll. We are going to listen in to Byron, Dennis Byron, because like I said, I want to hear from people from down them sides too, a person that knows both parties as well. If he knows them to the degree of what, I think he know them well enough. I'm just saying we need to hear from people that know something about something. So maybe we could pick a Jew out of person brain, right? I'm all the way from New York. These people run around the city. You know what I mean? So we got to tap our minds into the people that's tapped in so we could be tapped in. Feel me? So salute to everybody. Make sure y'all all dropping likes. Make sure y'all all are sharing. Y'all all are commenting. And we're going to get into this breakdown right now. Salute to everybody. Yeah. The ladies was on him in my last chat. They like, oh, they like him. They like his co-defendant.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have just watched the sentencing of Mr. Gibson, Ms. Smith, and Mr. Taylor. Respectively, there have been a total of 4 life sentences plus 80 years. 80 years. Stand by. 40 life sentences, 4 life sentences, plus, well, let's see, one, two, three life sentences, plus the years stacked above. This is the most time I've seen anyone receive covering Fulton County. She will never get to see her son again.
Hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Let me see what that
This will probably like to
they
be
didn't
the
show
last
that
session.
part. They didn't show the actual sentence. But he's saying what 4 life sentences and all this other stuff. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get the specifics on this. This is crazy.
She gets to see her son. Just think about that. When they go through those doors,
Everybody hit the pole. Everybody drop a
they are
like.
separated. They are taken downstairs. They are put in a holding pen, separate, male from female. They are transported from the courthouse back to Wright Street, and then they will probably be on a bus out to Georgia Diagnostic in South Georgia, and she will be Mr. Taylor and Mr. Gibson will go one direction and she'll go another direction. 30 years for Mama Cat.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you.
Yeah, John Michael Gibson. Life in prison for the grape. Additional 70 years for racketeering, trafficking, firearm possession, and related charges. He's done. Okay. His mother, Linda Smith, aka Mama Cash. Right. Look, his mom's, aka Linda Smith, aka Mama Cash, homie. All right. His mom got 20 years for the racketeering. Okay. See the mom coming in, she could have got more. She could have got a 30 piece and all that. But she had lesser charges than him, lesser counts, even though she was found guilty of a couple of those big things like him. She had less things. He had a lot more things going on. Some of the tuition she wasn't even caught up on as well. You know what I mean? So she got 20 years, 10 years for the trafficking, served concurrently, okay, with the 20 years. So she got 30. She got a 30 piece concurrent. Okay. So they didn't do it consecutive. They did it concurrently. You know what I mean? All you could ask for is concurrent, but when you got 30, you're already like 50 years old. You already know what's going on, right? His mom's like 50, obviously. And his cousin. See what he got? He got life for the grape and the aggravated sodomy. All right. And he got an additional 60 for the trafficking, assault, and the false imprisonment and the D-rug possession. And they also ordered to register as SEX offenders and avoid victims and crime link addresses. And, they went through a whole breakdown of all of that things too as well, that, they have to stay away from everything. So yeah, man, Cash Out got life, man, for the grape. The grape got him life. Him and his man got life for grape. And then the additional was that. So without the grape, they would have got a 70 and he would have got a 60. You know what I'm saying? Without the grape, he'd have got a 70 and he would have got a 60. Something like that. You feel me? Whether they said this is broken down into 2 things or whatever, how they want to run it. You know how they run it. But yeah, so he got plus 70, so it doesn't matter, yo. You put out. Yeah, they put them all out. Put them all out, yo. It's crazy. Lights out. But you out here still doing that type of lifestyle. I understand. I came from the streets. I come from it, and we get it. You know what I'm saying? We get it. But when you put in a position, bro, to do better, to make it out, to get away from certain things, man. Come on, man. We got to sometimes take our blessings, man, and not be the lesson, bro. You know what I mean? We could blame this, blame the government, blame the whole world, son. But come on, son. They alleging that you using your label, okay? You using your label to do these things, to further all of this stuff. The people with promises of this and this and that. You should have seen what the girls were saying in there, man. One girl was like, listen, man, jail is not enough for you. I wish you hell, son. One woman said, I wish you hell at the end. Stop this. I wish you hell. Say it. Another person was like, yo, what? Son, jail's not enough, son. I'm like, hell, da-da-da-da. It was going in, son. It was going in. He said, prison's not good enough for you, brother. It's not even good enough for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You know, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Maybe, who knows? You know what I mean? You could say, oh, these people was there. They was down. I don't know who was down with what was what. You know what I'm saying? He said a lot of people was talking to him still from while he's in prison. People were contacting him. He was in contact with people prior to them, I guess, them speaking to the government. And maybe after they spoke to the government, he was saying that in court when he got up to speak. Maybe this can help you in some way. I don't think any of this. You just post and blame and push and blame somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like he knew he was going to get life and he was going to get rocked. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you know what? Let me just speak what I'm speaking for, because he didn't even say sorry. He didn't. Cash Out didn't even say sorry. Straight. The moms at least went up and was like, yo, you know what I mean? The victims, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? The God. And I mean, told me to do my testament. You know what I'm saying? I had to speak to people. And I mean, I'm going, like, I wasn't even, it was crazy that I wasn't sad when I got, like, I don't know if she used the word sad or she wasn't like scared or sad or something. I think it's sad because she's sad, but it's a word like this that she used, like when she got back to herself, like, yo, I can't believe that I was feeling like this after she got a guilty verdict. And she's like, I just got to use this time in my life to, you know what I mean, just trying to, you know what I mean, correct my wrongs, da 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 da. Whether you believe this or not, Linda Smith, Morenika, Vinnie, whatever, that's her name as well. Whether she believes it or not, that's kind of the lanes how you want to be talking, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, they tried to ask the court, could they give her 5 years, right? And do 15 years on the back end. I thought that was a stretch, beyond a stretch. I knew that they was going to give life to, I think, Ty, his cousin, and him. They was going to get life, man. They got convicted of the RICO, too many things. The grape alone is what's going to do them in. You know what I mean? They got a rough bid ahead of them, and you got RICO'd. So with that comes they taking your money because your business and your record label and all that was tied to it. So all of that was tied to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot. That's a lot. So you know that's what comes to RICO. They're about to take your bread and all of that. So yeah, they're in a bad one. Then with the grape charges, man, you already know how people in jail think about that alone, man. Grape and all this other stuff, man. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. This whole thing is just not good for them. Straight. So yeah, let's get back to Dennis and see what he's talking about, man. It's crazy, man. Because he about to break it down for us, gangster.
20 plus 10 stacked. Not
crazy.
Concurrent, but
everybody hit the poll. Everybody drop a like for me, man. Salute. I'm gonna do another poll in a sec. I'm about to do one.
When you're 50 is almost a life sentence. The mom didn't get a life sentence. The Cash Out got 2 life sentences. But I'll confirm that. But this is significant, ladies and gentlemen. The mother was convicted of a series of crimes: sex trafficking, RICO. The mother got 20 years for the RICO count 1. She got 10 years for the sex trafficking. That's 30 years. This, ladies and gentlemen, should be a deterrent for anyone thinking about coming to Georgia to traffic or to commit RICO. This is the only judge in Fulton County in the history of Fulton County that has given this much time out for a RICO case. Let that sink in. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. And while you letting that sink in, make sure you putting a 1 in the chat if you can hear the sound of my voice, and hit the thumbs up, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is breaking news development in the case involving rapper Cash Out. No more riding around with Nino. No more shaking and baking. Cooking dope in a dope house. Done. It's not happening anymore. No more exploiting young women. Getting your money off the back of young women. Despicable. You could have got a damn job if you couldn't rap. Despicable. No more Keisha either. None of that. Done data. Done data. It's over. Over. You destroyed collectively these innocent people's lives.
Look, I have a very simple offer. If you're struggling or stuck with starting and scaling a business, I've been there. I'm 7 years in.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. You took the souls of these young ladies and pimped them out for your own profit and benefit. You held a machete, a firearm, and a backhand slap as your weapons of destruction. So, the judge spoke. She spoke loud and decisively. She spoke loud and decisively. There are so many women are missing. This is not a myth. There are young ladies missing around the country that have been black women, black girls have been taken off the streets and taken into servitude and being pimped and prostituted in America. But your time will come soon for all those who have pimped and prostituted these innocent human beings. Your time will come soon. It's just a matter of time, but your time is coming. Your time is coming. The minute you think about pimping another one, imagine someone pimping your mom or your sister, your aunt, your girlfriend, your daughter. Think about that. I take joy in seeing the victims whole. They're not going to be whole, but getting some justice. I seen a video the other day, ladies and gentlemen. Your president, Mr. Byron, why are you screaming? Because I'm mad right now. I'm mad. Cash Out had an opportunity that a lot don't have. He was rubbing elbows with some of the big dogs. You were in the mezzo. You was my neighbor. You were my neighbor. You don't get into the mezzo easily. Mezzo ain't cheap, but you were in the mezzo because you were pimping and prostituting ladies, young girls. And Mama Cash, you should be ashamed of yourself. Collecting the money while your son was destroying young ladies. Disgusting. Disgusting. Put a stain. You put a stain on Atlanta hip hop with this weird, sick, diabolical behavior. Mama Cash had TV opportunity. Opportunity. She was rubbing elbows with some real decent people. But she said, no, that's too hard. I need that easy money. Every dollar that you took from those young ladies, off the backs of those young ladies, that's what you should be thinking about. Not that they did me wrong. No, it wasn't like that. No, the money trail was real. The evidence was strong. It was undisputed evidence that it came from Mama Cash, the victim. This is not a case where maybe they picking on them. Nah, they ain't picking on them. This is a RICO. This is a RICO. And I see some comments. I see some of the comments on some of the other cases I covered. But you got to understand something. When I look at a case, I don't use a brush to paint all what I see in one case and apply it to the other cases, because facts are different, circumstances are different, evidences are different. But when you see it, you hear it, you listen to the testimony, it's different in each and every case. And some of you just got to chill out. If you're not actually sitting in there in the courtroom or listening to the evidence and looking at the witness, you got to be there. That's why I said cameras. Everyone can't be there. I understand that. Everyone can't get there. But we need cameras in the courtroom in certain instances. Or we need real truth tellers that come out and tell the truth, not manufacture it for their own benefit, own gratification, but for the benefit of the people, so people can be aware. People are aware that there's sex trafficking in Georgia, and it's happening at a rapid rate, and it's not going to stop until judges like this make those people held accountable. And that's real. That's real talk. When you see someone that is in trauma, you see a white van with blacked out windows riding around in the neighborhood, listen. Make sure you're watching, you keep your phones out, and keep your Keisha on standby.
If you've never cashed a $42,166 paycheck, then I've got good news.
Because they they ride around in neighborhoods where people are most vulnerable, and they snatch people up. They snatch people up. They put some chlorophene in a tissue and knock them out, or put them under some type of drug. It happens. Listen, it happens. Don't think you can't get it. When you got 3 weirdos or 4 weirdos sitting in the van waiting to scoop you up. You don't walk by yourself, ladies. You walk with a friend. You make sure you have your mace, and if you can carry a gun, carry a gun. You'll say, Mr. Byron, why do you tell them carry a gun? Yeah, carry a gun, because they're carrying guns. The criminals don't care about gun rights because they're carrying guns. Criminals don't care about gun rights, which I think is so weird. The criminals don't care about gun rights because they don't follow the law anyway. So you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. I'm sorry, guys. You might say, Mr. Byron, you're talking too much. I'm sorry. I just got to get this off my chest because I've seen things. I'm hearing things. And these people just came there someone came for opportunity. Someone just snatched up. Can't make light of that. Can't make light of that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm in the live. I'm sorry. But this kind of pissed me off. This pissed me off, man. And before you say something, say, oh, it's about the color. No, it happens. It happens. It happens. Black, white, Latino. It happens to vulnerable people. It happens. What would make someone do such a thing to another human being is the question I have to ask. What makes someone would do that? Then a woman, you are the I don't know if you're the mastermind or whatever. First of all, I'm putting that she get the same smoke. Same smoke. You out here taking money from the pain and torture of other human beings. Let me just say this. Judge Leffridge at 8C of Fulton County Courthouse. Job well done. Adrian Love and your team, job well done. Mr. Hoover, Mr. Matthews, you had to work with what you had. You didn't have much to work with, and it is what it is. Don't take this as a loss for yourself, but a win for the community. This is a win for the community. And I know the Constitution grants everyone the right to have a fair trial and an attorney be represented by competent attorneys. But you can't you can't make lemonade without lemons. You just didn't have it. You didn't have the tools necessary to win this case. So don't go bashing the attorneys. Don't go bashing the attorneys. Don't go bashing the attorneys. This wasn't that case for them to win. It's almost like a murder case versus an attempted murder case. You don't have the opportunity to interview a corpse. When you have a live witness getting on the stand telling their story, that's a big mountain to overcome. And then you have all these jurors that are listening. They're listening to the details. Listen, I get it, but I'm just saying I've been covering enough of these cases, and there's sometimes lawyers are just not cut for this, and then sometimes lawyers are. And I guess at the end, through an appeal or whatever, you know, are they going to argue ineffective counsel? Was there something missed? You know, there was a plea deal. I'm told there was a plea deal, but the plea deal wasn't even conducive for the people that it was offered to. It wasn't. But you guys really should hear some of the crazy details in this case. It's horrific. Right. So I don't bash attorneys unless you are just a poor, sloppy attorney. Then I'm going to give you that business. I'm going to give you the business. Because if I can catch it, you should be able to catch it. If I can catch something and you don't catch it, then I'm wondering, I'm saying, wait a minute, are you just going through the motions or are you actually doing the work? But with that said, they didn't have much to work with, the defense. They didn't. They didn't have much to work with. I don't think a high-priced attorney could have gotten a better outcome when you have the witnesses that are coming in. And sometimes you have these high-priced attorneys that negotiate a settlement before it goes to trial. They tell the client, listen, this is not going to end well for you. You're here on a RICO case with a mounting of evidence, and cranking up the jury or taking it to trial probably is not the smartest thing to do. And if your attorney doesn't tell you that, and then you go ahead and crank up the jury and it comes out not in your favor, it's up to you it's only on you, because the attorneys have to tell you, listen, they got to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this was an ugly case. I sound muffled. Do I sound muffled? Hold on a second. A little muffled. How about now? How do I sound now? You said I sound a little muffled. Do I sound muffled now?
Yeah, he tried to fix it now, talking about he sound muffled now. Yeah, you sounded all right. You looked like you sounded a little bit better, Dennis. But yeah, Dennis was making a lot of points though, man. We cannot knock that. Dennis was making a lot of good points though, man. But it's crazy though, man. Wasting your life that way. Why? Why do this, right? Why do that? I mean, why? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You done made it to be a rapper, you're an artist, you all of this. You things that people wish they could be. You know what I'm saying? Wish they could make it to where you made it. And this is what you choose, you know? But then the mother's involved with it. That's what just makes it look more sinister. You know what I mean? You got you and your cousin involved in this thing. Then your mother's there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all a part of this whole thing. It's just crazy, man. And just like you said, man, the defense couldn't do much on this, man. You know what I mean? The victim spoke. One victim didn't show up. I think victim, if I'm mistaken, like, was it number 8? Something like that. I don't know who that was. I can't remember who it was. But I think somebody didn't show up or so. But, you know what I mean? He did, like I said, come up and try to speak to the fact that I guess some of these potential victims, or they're victims now because he's convicted of these crimes. But, you know what I mean? At the time, these potential victims were contacting him maybe while he was in jail or while he was during this whole time of him being incarcerated, because he was incarcerated for 4 years. And we know that his cousin was also the one that was incarcerated the longest. You know what I mean? I think he was since like 2019. I think the cousin was actually caught up, if I'm not mistaken, maybe from some related charges, or maybe that's when his arrest started though. And then his own took a little bit longer. So however that went, that went. However that went, that went. But yo, man, the whole situation is madness, madness, madness. We do know that. It's crazy, man. You know, it's crazy, bro. You know, they was trying to petition for the mother to get like about 5-10 years. I did not think that was going to happen at all. That was just wishful thinking in my mind. You know what I mean? Your defense got to ask for something. You know what I mean? Closed mouth don't get fed. You in court. Um, but I just didn't see it happening for him. I just didn't see it happening for them at all. Um, yeah, man. Heart goes out to the victims. Like I said, a couple of the victims, they on my last stream, you can hear it. It's from the very beginning. I started it right from the victims. So I didn't start the stream from really from the talking and all that, which is cool because the prosecution was saying some things too. But let's get right to what the victims are saying. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get right to where they at, man. And, you know, a couple of women spoke. I think, if I'm not mistaken, like 3 I heard at least. You know what I mean? One of them was like, no, prison's not good enough for you. You know what I'm saying? I hope you wish you hell. Somebody said that at the end of their statement, like, no, I wish you hell. Like at the end, that's what the last thing they said. The other person, like, good jail ain't good enough. You're a monster, this, and that. So, you know how it is, man. It's just crazy. No, he didn't, man. Malcolm Jamal Warner? No, he didn't, bro. Oh my God, bro. Damn, bro. R.I.P. Malcolm, bro. R.I.P. my man Theo, bro. That's nasty work, bro. I ain't even gonna put no bunspiracies in the air, homie. I ain't even gonna put no bunspiracies in the air. But it's nasty work with my man Theo. Straight. You know, Theo, yo, bro. Theo had every lady on earth. It's Theo. Damn, son, that's crazy, my man Theo. And he was trying to do some stuff still, and he was doing some independent work, like some theater. He was still trying to do. I just seen him like, which must be like last year, some months back, and I'm like, what? And I seen him pop up in something. He was talking about all this other stuff that he's doing still, like behind the scenes, and people was giving him mad credit for stuff that he's helping them with. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, look at Theo still doing this thing all this time, son. Look at Malcolm Jamal Warner doing the thing, bro. That's sad, bro. That's sad, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's sad. Nasty work, man. Yeah, man. I might have to go see what's going on. Theo's the man, bro, for real, son. All of the baddest flyers came through the show. Stop playing. Theo. Theo was Theo before them. Yo, bro, that's crazy. RP my man Theo, bro. RP my man Theo. He was in the industry for years. Had probably his ones and twos, but kept his shirt kind of clean for the most part, right? For being in that industry since a young kid, man. He did good in that industry, bro. And that industry will make you see what it do to people, bro. Look at Cash Out. Look what happened to him, bro. Look what, and he ain't even in the industry to the level that Theo was. Look at Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Come on, son. He was around a lot of things. Maybe he didn't have this. Maybe he didn't have that. Who knows? But look, Cash Out didn't have Diddy's money. Don't matter. You can find yourself in situations by doing things, man. So always long live Theo, man. Shout out. Always, and long live Malcolm Jamal Warner, man. The sad work with that, man. For real. Listen, man, everybody subscribe to the channel. Everybody make sure y'all subbed up. I'm about to do another live probably right after this for Malcolm Jamal, my boy, plus something else too as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to figure it out because I had something else I want to talk about it, so I might do a dual type stream. I might do something for Malcolm Jamal, man. Y'all can come up. We could talk about some shit, man. I ain't mad with that. We could chop it up about Theo, Cosby, and all that, man. About the whole show. You know what I'm saying? Not just Bill. We talking about Theo. They ain't about Bill. Show was about Bill the whole damn time. Move over, Bill. Yeah, so this about Theo. And we could talk about our favorite times of that. You know what I'm saying? The show. Remember when he had the Gordon Gartrell shirt? Remember when Denise stitched him up the Gordon Gartrell shirt? Nah, nigga, I know that's the yellow shirt. And the sleeves was mismatched? Nah, son. One sleeve was a regular? Nah. Y'all know that's a funny episode. When he wanted the Gordon Gartrell shirt, bro. I don't know how I remember the name of the damn shirt. That's how you know how funny it was. Gordon Gartrell, son. Funny as hell. Shout out to Theo, man. Shout out to my man Theo, man. Damn, son, I gotta do a stream for my man Theo, bro. Nasty work. You already know the vibe, man. We out.